Small businesses are responsible for 50% of the people working in New York. We have to give a lifeline to those small businesses. In my plan, we take care of 50% of their wages for 1 year, which also allows them to be eligible for earned income tax credit. We also will help negotiate them retaining a year of New York City sales tax. We also will cut the red tape. We have the capacity, we have the wherewithal, and you have to have the will. And I have the vision and I have the will to bring this city forward. And that's why I'm running for mayor.
Paid for by Ray McGuire for Mayor Inc.
My name is Taquana Henderson Rivers, and I'm a senior advisor on the Ray for Mayor campaign. I have purview over political and field. I also hop in and out of every other department, offering my assistance wherever I think is needed. I am a lifelong New Yorker. I was born and raised in Brooklyn and Queens. I have dual citizenship. I run my business in Queens, and it's a place that is near and dear to my heart. I met Ray last summer in 2020. He came to Queens, and he wanted to talk with me regarding his candidacy, and I was extremely won over, and I felt an immediate connection to him based on his background and my background. I saw a lot of Ray McGuire and myself, and I was so proud to see this man become the success story that he has become based on where he came from. At this moment in time, we need a transformational leader. We need a leader that can not only manage a budget, that can manage people and bring a new set of eyes to old problems. And that is why I'm supporting Ray McGuire. I believe Ray McGuire will be the transformational leader that we need. I believe Ray McGuire will lead the greatest, most inclusive comeback for the city of New York. In matters pertaining to public safety, education, economic development, I believe Ray has put together outstanding policies worthy of your look. We hope to see you on the campaign trail over the coming days and weeks. Please visit rayformayor.com, look at our policies, and we hope to earn your support. He certainly earned mine.
Hey there, folks. It's L. Joy Williams, a senior advisor on Ray for Mayor. And it's Friday night. I'm in a different space, not in my home office. I'm actually in my actual office. But it doesn't matter, because wherever I go, I can bring someone with me, someone by the name of our next mayor of the city of New York, Ray McGuire. Hey, Ray.
What's up, Al Joy? How you living tonight?
You know, I'm living mighty yellow, you
come with something strong every Friday night.
I gotta give the people some color tonight. It was a little rainy, so I gotta give some, some color to the people. So
I think your daughter has a hand in this, doesn't she?
Yes, absolutely.
All that. I saw that little girl, that young woman is like all in.
She's only 5.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. I don't know, because she's ready to take over now.
Yeah, Lord help us in the future.
Help you, because the Lord done helped us with her, so we're good.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening, even though you're late.
Really? Because I thought I was like, I was late. I don't. Okay, I was late. I know what I'm going to do as a, kind of make it up.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to do. I got to figure this out. I got to write it down, though, because last week I got it. I think I got a little twisted.
Oh, you talking about when you shared my email address with everybody?
I'm going to give them the right one this time. So everybody going to start blasting you out saying, Eldre Ray is late again.
Well, so, I mean, at some point you did get it right, because I got like 400 emails.
You did? Seriously? Email Ray directly. That shouldn't say that. It should be email
Ray
Exactly.
at rayformayor.com.
Tell
Since
Joy
you want to
at-
do me, nope. Since you wanted to give out my email address last week, I'm giving out yours this week.
Well, I just wanted to understand just how successful I was. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about it though. So next time you call me out for being late, I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him that other email. I'm gonna light your stuff up. You better see if you got some new extra capacity in that iCloud or whatever cloud you Android cloud, iCloud, BlackBerry. You don't even know what a BlackBerry is, so I'm dating myself.
I do. I actually had a BlackBerry on campaigns before. I think I still have it in a box somewhere.
How about a beeper? Call me on my beep. You know that song?
I had a neon yellow beeper.
Wow, you like that yellow, right? That yellow works for you. That's all right.
Yellow works for me. It looks good on chocolate women.
That's what I'm saying. I better go get me. I got a yellow watch band. I've got a yellow watch band right here. See there? I got a little yellow.
It looks good on the melanin.
Ray of hope. That's what we're working with. I am
That's what we're working with. So now you have been pretty busy.
Busy.
Yes. So we're transitioning from we're still doing a lot of Zooms and a lot of candidate forums, but I want to show the people that you are actually out campaigning as well. I don't even know if you saw this cut. I'm going to show it for you right now.
I have not seen a cut. No, I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, check this out.
I just got one question.
Yeah.
You think you can take care of me? Huh? You can get me done?
We have a clue.
What are you up to?
I am a student Baruch.
You are?
Survey on financial inclusion in Brownsville and the banking system in this area and the lack of banks.
So it's a financial desert, right? You got a couple up there?
Desert, yep.
I'm running because I love this city. City's been great to me. So superintendent to the manager, and then the manager reports to who? What does help look like? This community policing, where everybody comes together. Does that work? How long has this been going on? How long would you say the decline has taken place?
Thank you for visiting, and that's a great thing.
Thank you. Well, we need you all to do well. Right, I'm glad you're up and running. This looks good.
So you out in these streets, right?
I'm out at home. That's where I am. You call it the streets, I call it home. That's where I am. Don't get confused. Don't get sometimes, Eljo, you kind of, you put that yellow and you get a little confused Friday night.
Oh boy.
So
How do you like, actually, as you're saying, being home, how do you like being outside and being among people?
I love it. I'm talking to the people. I'm understanding what's up out there. I knew it. This just confirms what's out there. It's hard. We need something different because all that stuff they've been talking to people about for all these years, all them people been in office for all these years, and people have gone backwards. Right? You got people out there. I was glad to see the salon open. Glad to see the salon open. That was encouraging to me because it's been hard times.
Yeah.
And then when a lady was talking about, being in financial deserts, we got to deal with that because we are in financial deserts in too many of our communities. We need to give people access to be able to understand, they just need to get financially literate. And we need to make sure that people understand how to do things digitally too, right? And technology. All that is clear, but we haven't done a good job at making sure that our people have access. Yeah. So we got to have a different plan. We got to run a different play right now because that play we've been running going backwards.
Yeah, well, you in your economic plan, I know that they were doing a survey and talking about the banks, but it's not just about like big institution banks. It's also about community banks and sort of varying levels of financial institutions that need to exist in a community, not just like a traditional brick and mortar bank, right?
No, we need different financial institutions. We need what they call a community banks, which, by the way, shout out as part of my comeback plan. We got community banks in there, especially for the small businesses. But it's also, we need to get our people comfortable with technology and how they bank, using some of the mobile apps People need to get comfortable with that. We need to educate and inform our people on how they can access banks and get bank accounts, right? Some people are just, some of us just don't have bank accounts. I get that, right? That's not the way it should be. So we should make it possible for all of those people who want to open a bank account to have one. And I want to have our seniors who may not be able to get access to a physical bank, figure out how we get them, the kind of financial help that they need and financial understanding that they need. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to do, but first we got to get people to work. This is all about the economy. None of that stuff is going to work. None of that stuff is we're going to pay attention to unless we fix this economy. It's all about the economy. Ain't going to have no social justice without economic justice. Won't happen.
Yeah. Well, a lot of other stuff you released this week. We'll start at the top. You did put out a statement in response to the rise in anti-Asian hate crimes that have been happening. And tomorrow you're actually going to be at a rally in support as well. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, this is such a tragic thing. As a Black man, I know what it's like, right? When I put on a suit and go to a department store, as I've said before, I can be one of three things. I can be men's suits, I can be where's the restroom, or I can be security. And when I walk outside in a hoodie like this, I could be targeted for who knows what. We have had too much anti-Semitism. We've had too much anti-gender. We've had too much anti-Black. And now the white supremacists and racism raises once again its ugly head, anti-Asian. And yesterday many of the people who are in the campaign stood tall at National Action Network, where Reverend Al Sharpton and Dr. Richardson convened a group of leaders. And so we all stood in denouncing that kind of vitriolic racism for which none of us stand. And the first step here is to acknowledge that it exists. The next step is to make sure that we denounce it. And the third step is to figure out how it is that we prevent it. We need to invest in the hate crimes unit, and we need to make sure that those people who commit these crimes are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and when found guilty, serve time without parole.
Strong
That's
there.
what it can be. We can't let this stuff go down.
Yeah.
It cannot happen. Listen, Black people have been living through this for a long time. So it does not, we don't give quarter to it anywhere. We ought to get these people. I mean, how can it be that somebody commits a crime like that, and what do we call him? He's got some emotional disturbance. Yeah, emotional disturbance. He got, illness called white supremacy. That's emotional disturbance.
Right. So the other piece that you put out that I know that you are, just hopping mad about the state of education for our kids. But part of the policy piece you put out this week is also about how we catch up kids who have, lost a year almost of their education. And so you put out a catch-up plan. I can tell you gotten some mixed reviews starting from the students, because they're like, oh, wait, you're trying to take my summer vacation away.
Yep, you're exactly right. I'm trying to take that summer vacation today, so you won't be on vacation your entire life tomorrow. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, we just started this catch up now.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we've been catching up. How can it be 3rd through 8th grade Black and brown kids 70% below proficient? 70% below proficient. Pre-K is good, but by the time many of our kids started pre-K, they're already behind. So yes, I want to make certain that I take the summer, because I need to start catching up at some point, because we're behind. In my plan, my educational plan, what I've outlined now is to make certain these kids are in school so they don't lose yet another year.
Yeah.
And what I want to make sure is that we do that. You can opt out. Parents can opt out, but we opt out at our own peril.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like I said, it's mixed reviews, right? Like, kids are always going to wait for, want to wait for summer. And some parents too believe that this year has been hard, on students mentally, physically. So, like you said, parents can opt out. But listening to some teachers as well talk about, their students need this, right? And it's not like they're doing it for free. They will get paid, teachers will get properly compensated for this in order to do the work. And I really like the part where you mentioned teachers and educators who are retired, enlisting them to come back.
I want the best of us to be involved here. And I look at, other than the faith-based world, teachers have to be the most noble. If each of us thinks about our lives, and I were to ask you of the 5 people, and I just, close your eyes and think of the 5 people who had the biggest impact in your life, guarantee 1, probably 2, maybe 3 have had the most significant input in the direction of your life, and they were teachers. And so I have so much admiration and respect and gratitude for our teachers. We need to make sure that we take care of our teachers as well, so that our teachers can take care of our children. And that's what this is about. So yes, I want to involve those retired teachers who taught us, who got me here. I wouldn't be here without education. Every opportunity I get to repeat that, I will. Education was my only ticket out. And I know there are people who didn't have the opportunity. And I want to make sure that our kids have the opportunity. And they may yell and scream. I understand that. My favorite class was recess. I get that. But, yelling and screaming today, I'm going to take care of the yelling and screaming today. My words say, train a child in the way he should go, and when he or she is older, shall not depart. Yeah, tough medicine today. Yeah. You're going to thank me later on.
That's so true. And you mentioned about naming the people that are influential in your life. I still remember my elementary school teacher. I think she was Miss Triplett. Right. And
you remember Miss Triplett, right?
I remember Miss Triplett. I remember she had this like tight, short Jerry curl. And I remember, she was very stern. She was very like, what we thought was too hard and, mean or whatever. But there are lessons that she taught me, in elementary school that I still remember and still practice today. And so it's really, really important that you mentioned in having great teachers and great educators, the impact that they have on your life, long lasting.
Miss Triplett, you didn't have Miss Triplett, no telling where you'd be.
I don't know. She got me my first Ankara skirt for West African dance.
And you didn't even know what Ankara was until Miss Triplett told you, right?
Until Miss Triplett told
me. Now look at you, all regal and stuff.
All right. So the other thing you put out this week was your plan to fix the damn roads?
Yeah, roads are messed up. Yeah. Potholes everywhere. Yeah, rises to a level of urgency. You know what? Because you hit a pothole, you go into the man with the car, with the tires, get the thing realigned. Too many people need their cars to get around, to get to work. All of a sudden, the car hit the pothole. You got to call the towing company, and it's going to take you into the man who's going to fix your tires, the woman who's going to fix your tires, and that's $2,000 later. Folk ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah.
Let's fix the road, right? Yeah. People are already too expensive in the city. Now, all of a sudden, I got to go pay $2+ grand to get my tires fixed, get my wheels aligned. Yeah, fix the roads.
I like it. I love it. I am a frequent 311 user strictly for giving addresses to the roads. I feel like I'm flagged at 311.
No, you pass by one in the car, you sidetrack it and call and tell them put a little dirt and some tar in here to clean it up. Maybe it's
have you ever driven down the road and see somebody has like a whole cone or a shopping cart in the hole?
Yeah, I'm looking at this thing. This is a traffic jam. They got a whole cone in here. I mean, what? The people at the Department of Transportation must be able to see this cone because I can see it. Or a whole shopping cart. You're right, a whole shopping cart ain't got nothing in it.
Right, but somebody put a shopping cart in it so you could see, so you wouldn't bottom out your car, driving past it. So they put something in the hole so that you can.
Have you ever seen the ones with the shopping cart with the cone inside? Just in case just in case y'all can't figure out what's going
Just
on.
in case you can't see it, I just don't want you to drive over this.
Right here, okay? Shopper cart with a cone inside. Do not forget me.
All right. Well, we do have some people waiting to talk to you, so I'm not going to take up all the time so from there. But the person I'm going to...
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You can answer. I want you to answer this straight up, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay?
Yes.
Straight up. I'm really funny, right?
Oh, my God. All right. We're moving on. So, the next person we have, instead of me introducing him, I'm going to let him introduce himself.
My name is Juke Su. I'm an entrepreneur, co-founder and CEO of Pursuit. Ray's a friend and mentor and advisor. Ray and New York City have lots in common: drive, ambition, diversity, success, grit, and resilience. All the qualities that people think of New York, I think Ray embodies and can help position us for the future.
Wow.
Juke, thank
Man,
you
what
so
is
much for
going down?
joining us.
What's going down, man? Last time your hair, what's going on with your hair, man? You like your hair grow out? Where's the whiteboard, man? I'm getting a little nervous. You have that whiteboard?
That's
Wow.
right. Good to see you, Ray. Yeah, pandemic style. You know, I may get a cut soon. My mom keeps telling me I need to do that, but
Mine is pandemic style too.
that's right.
Okay, do people know what you do? Have you explained to people what you do?
Probably not. But yeah.
I got to tell this then. Okay, so Juke is one of the most brilliant, exceptional entrepreneurs who is making a fundamental difference in people's lives. So he somehow locates people who are kind of down on the luck, who are kind of out, making $15,000 a year at most. And Juke finds them, identifies them, and then takes them offline for, what is it, 6 or 9 months, Juke? 6 months?
It's about a year, actually. Yeah.
It's a year. Okay, takes them offline for a year. When they start with Juke, they're making $15,000 a year. When they re-enter the workforce, they're making between $85,000 and $95,000 a year, which is extraordinary. Changing people's lives, making them software engineers. So when they go into what is one of the highest demand roles now in the world, in the country, in New York City, he's retrained them. This is what we're talking about. We need more of this. We need to scale this in New York. There's no better example of the future of New York, the future of work. So, man, it is so great to see you. What a surprise this is on a Friday night, too. Wow, this is big. This is great, man.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And thanks for that. You know, we're trying to do our part, and kind of that kind of transformation, the power that you speak about is really, yes, it's something that Pursuit is doing, but really it's our fellows, or what we call our students, and just an amazing community. There's so much incredible talent out there. And if we give people opportunities, they're able to do amazing things. And you've been a large part of that too. I mean, I've seen firsthand when you were at Citi helping create these opportunities for, you know, all these talented New Yorkers, and not just doing that, but I still remember you taking the time to speak to our students, our fellows, and just how much you're able to kind of resonate with them and how they resonate with you. So, you know, I know we have like lots to talk about, but yeah, thank you. You know, it's really rare, I think, sometimes for corporate leaders and just leaders overall to take the time to do that with people. You were talking earlier about the streets being home. And don't get it confused. I think that's really amazing, and to be able to do that is and connect with people is really amazing.
Man, I so appreciate you, so respect you. We need to scale you. We need more. You've changed the lives of so many people, and I'm so inspired by you and the vision that you have and what you're executing on. It is like, that's 100, man. That's lit. That's fire. Whatever you millennials say, that's what it is. Okay.
You got you're more to know than I am.
All right, man.
I'm just popping in to say, don't encourage him, GK. Like, you're gonna make this any worse. But I know you had a question that you wanted to bring to him as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Eljoy. You know, Ray, I'm gonna ask you about we're talking about jobs and economy, but I think I'd be remiss if I did not, just like thank you for kind of your statement and just what you're saying about, what's happening in the Asian American community right now. I think it's such a strong statement. I think this idea of awareness and understanding how, hate lives in kind of different forms. And you spoke about anti-Semitism and all the, how it affects just all different kinds of communities. And I think this idea of intra-community dialogue, which I think you're kind of referencing, is it's so important. And I think that's part of why I believe so much in your leadership. And I think I want to highlight also, I really appreciate kind of what you're saying, like, strong stance against crime, right? If there are horrific, evil things that are happening, that still, deserves to be taken seriously and kind of prosecuted. So, just as a kid from Flushing, Queens, and, who talks to my mom about, and know kind of what she's thinking about in this kind of moment, I just want to kind of thank you for that and kind of your leadership on that.
Listen, GK, you're an example of just pure excellence. This is the way that we ought to interact with you. This is the way that we ought to respect you. I could care less about your background, your ethnic background. That to me is I care about it in terms of the richness of the culture and how it informs how you think about the world. But I also think about it in terms of what you've been able to accomplish independent of that. And, there are hurdles that you have to overcome that you internalize, right? We all have to internalize them. We're not part of the majority. We internalize these things. And then people don't just recognize the toll that it takes. And independent of that toll, regardless of that toll, you still have to move forward. And when they see you come into the room, there are perceptions that immediately form with people who don't know you. And those perceptions can be negative or, they can be positive, but there's some unconscious input that informs how people are going to interact with you from the start, unless they have been somewhat enlightened, unless they've been exposed. And if they haven't, then your instincts kick in. They immediately kick in. So you can tell based on someone's immediate reaction to whether or not you're going to have to dial in the thing suppressed, whether or not you have to bring in another way of interacting because it's going to be a difficult audience. These kind of things that you have stored away in order for you to deal are things that, you ought not have to store away. But you do. And the only way you've gotten here is because you compartmentalize. And I remember the great Ralph Ellison saying, play the game, but don't believe in it. And people have to recognize that you have to go through the same mindset because of the ignorance that exists with people who have no idea who you are, who just look at you of Asian descent and decide they're going to take a determination about who you are and what you stand for, which is completely unacceptable. So listen, I applaud you as if I have to. I applaud you as a Black man. I applaud all the things that you've had to go through to get to where you are. It has not been easy, but you have so outperformed and so exceeded the highest expectations. And I got respect for that. Total respect. And now it's a little under siege, but you know what, man, we'll get through it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, I mean, I love what you said. I completely kind of agree. I think we all want to be judged, and that's why I also really believe in kind of your leadership around on our success and kind of hard work, right? And around what each of us are able to do, And I know you often say, I mean, your success in kind of business, the longest tenure on Wall Street. It's not the longest Black executive on Wall Street, the longest executive on Wall Street, and what that means and kind of overcomes. And so, and I think your insight into kind of people's perceptions and understanding that is really, I think it's really important. And, part of it is, what I'm trying to learn and what I think we're trying to foster at Pursuit around, we have people from all different backgrounds, right? It's just the composition in New York City, not one race or ethnicity. And everyone's learning to work with each other, and it's about people's achievement and kind of success. So, I really admire that about your stance on these things too. And so I guess, shifting how, somewhat related actually to what I was going to ask you about, you talk about, the greatest and most inclusive economic comeback, right? And we're seeing, everyone knows this, a kind of K-shaped kind of recovery. Both in terms of income levels, in terms of, driven by educational attainment, in terms of by different communities and kind of ethnicities. How do you think about kind of, creating, the leadership and creating the economic empowerment and jobs in this time for that?
So the people who are informed, who have just a little bit, can talk about a K-shaped recovery. What you and I know is that there have been years of systemic inequity in economics, in education, in healthcare, and in the criminal justice system. It is only now that we're beginning to talk about a K-shaped recovery, with the assumption that many of our New Yorkers have been involved in had the ability to recover, to even have a conversation about recovery. We're talking about recovery for those people who never were involved. And so we need to baseline this. We need to start at the beginning and make sure the people who have been excluded in that conversation about where we are in the economic curve, we need to make sure that those people get included. Now, we have a 12% unemployment rate, and in many of our communities, that's double or triple that. If I look at the level of unemployment in different demographics, that number certainly is double that. When it comes to women, the number is catastrophically high. And so how do I think about the recovery? The recovery starts at the beginning. It starts at including people in the economy who up to this point have been excluded. And that's have to be where we start, which is where my economic plan begins to address the creation of 500,000 jobs. Yes, it includes those people who are going to return to the workforce, but it also has got to include those people like the people who you attract, who have been out of the workforce, who you discover. Some are making $15,000 a year. Some, I imagine, are out of work and they apply and get in. So we have to be thinking, we need to think about the number of people who are out of work, who we need to retrain to get them back into the workforce, and then decide on what kind of recovery for the people who were in the workforce. Yeah, it's K-shaped unless we get them jobs. Unless there's an economic recovery, that K-shape is going to be sharp and it's going to stay down for a long time. Sharp downward trend. So we need to rescue that, which is what my jobs plan intends to do. It will do. And I know that I got you out there too. With that, with that huge mainframe of yours, with that vision, that whiteboard that you normally have.
I got the sticky notes now. You see the replacement.
Come on, man. You can't put a
The man after my own heart. Yes, the sticky notes.
Stick them up there and have that go with the whiteboard. Man, come on. That's that whiteboard. I thought I was dealing with genius. I got my stickums too. I got no UK shoe whiteboard behind me, man. I saw that. I said, I'm dealing with genius here. I took a selfie.
Juke, thank you so much for making time this evening.
Thank you, my man. Great to see you. Okay, keep working hard. Okay, need you.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, LJ. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
No problem. Oh man, I enjoy these conversations that you have with folks. It's really great, really great. So I have someone else for you, a lifelong New Yorker. And when we say lifelong, he's a high school senior. So we're not going to ask him what he thinks about your catch-up plan, because I'm assuming as a high school senior, he wants a break too. But what I'm going to ask. I don't know.
I was on the phone today with East Harlem. He's got a beard. I don't know who's behind. That's a great photograph. But anyway, you ever heard of the Imagine Dragons?
Yeah.
You have, right?
Yeah.
See there, Eljoy, don't tell me I don't know what's up.
Oh my goodness. Lucas, I'm warning you now. I'm warning you not to encourage him as a comedian. It'll never.
Have you ever heard of Imagine? You ever heard of Imagine Dragons?
I don't know what that is. I don't.
You don't know, it's like one of the hottest bands out there. I'm saying,
I thought it was a Disney film. I'm gonna
Imagine
let
Dragons, I'm telling you, is an American pop rock band from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm saying,
Okay.
you don't know about that. You got to
No.
hang out with Lucas and the crew. You
Yeah, Imagine Dragons.
see that?
Lucas, I'm gonna let
Imagine
Lucas talk
Dragons
to
is going to
you.
be somewhere in Lucas's top 5 playlist. Guaranteed he listens to Imagine Dragons somewhere in the past 10 days. Guaranteed. But anyway, what's up, Lucas Gimbo? How you living?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a real pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, Lucas. Where you go to school?
So I go to a school called Collegiate. It's on the Upper West Side.
Oh, yeah, I heard you guys just got a brand new building.
We did just get a brand new building. I like the old one.
How long you been at Collegiate? How long you been there?
Since kindergarten.
Whoa, man. K through, and what year you now? 12?
Oh, yeah. I'm
You
applying
just-
to get back from colleges.
You just finished applying to college.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
school did you apply to?
A bunch of them. All of them. I mean, 15. So a
Whoa,
lot.
man, you went big. You went
Yeah.
big, man. That's
Yeah.
okay, Lucas. I'm good with that, man. Okay, what do you got? What do you got, Lucas, coming from Collegiate?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you this question because, you were talking about infrastructure earlier, and I think it's something that's really important for the city today and the city of tomorrow. I've lived all around New York, and I've learned that what makes the city work for all New Yorkers is the ability to get around.
Yep.
What are you going to do to fix our old subways and buses? And how are you going to bring the city's infrastructure into the future?
So let me deal with infrastructure. Let me deal with infrastructure first. My infrastructure plan, Lucas, includes sewage mains, fractured bridges, many of which we have not painted in years. It includes deeply affordable housing, some mixed use. There are a couple of great projects now in the Bronx that are highlighted. It includes the preparing for the 100-year flood that comes every 5 years, like Hurricane Sandy. And it includes the following, Lucas. Were you guys in school or out of school, or was mixed?
A little bit mixed, but we've been pretty good about being in school.
So when it was mixed, I'm assuming, and you tell me where I'm wrong, I'm assuming that you had access to a tablet or a laptop and you had broadband.
Yeah.
So let me tell you one of the fundamental parts about infrastructure is broadband. And now we live in a digital divide. We have 1.5 million New Yorkers who don't have access to mobile or to broadband. If we look at our public housing, 40 to 50% of the people who live in the largest housing complexes in the city do not have access to broadband. And many of our New Yorkers have to go to one of the branches in the New York Public Library so they can be within 100 feet of those branches to get their Wi-Fi, so tap into a Wi-Fi hotspot so they can do their homework. So we live in many ways in a technology desert. We have to build broadband and make it accessible. So I want to start with, I need to start there, Lucas, because the vast majority of people will not have the opportunity that you had at one of the greatest schools that exists in any city. It is a great school. And so we have to acknowledge that. And all the things that are supplied to you all are not supplied to many others. I got 1,000,001 students, 600,000 to 700,000 of whom are Black and brown kids. If I look at 3rd through 8th grade, 70% are below proficient. And so we have to focus on that to make sure that we have both digital literacy and financial literacy, where you have some fluency. When it gets to the public transportation, many of our students, many of our New Yorkers don't have access to transportation because they live in transportation deserts. Living in Manhattan, if you can't get across town on the subway, you can easily hop a city bike. Right. Or you probably run. So, but there's a way for you to get across town. Going east to west is one thing. Going north to south is something different. And the city doesn't work that way. So you need to figure out how we get express buses in some of these transportation deserts, how we fix the subway elevators and escalators, especially for those people who are wheelchair bound and elderly. So we need to commit to that. We need to work with the federal government and the state government, given that they are, they control the MTA. But what we control, we can make certain that we have more access to. And we have to invest in that, because we commute 4 to 5 million New Yorkers a day at the height of this. And now that's down 80 some odd %. So we have to prepare for that. And we have to prepare for a world where when you eventually get out of school and you want to come to work, we got to prepare for a world where you say, I'm going to come to work 3 or 4 days a week and, not 5 or 6 days a week, and make it possible for you to access this. And your world is also going to be interested in whether or not the kind of transportation that we have is environmentally sound. So I got to prepare for a carbon net zero by some point in the future, which means I got to make more parks and more lanes accessible. I got to make certain that I'm providing for electric vehicles and scooters. So all these things I need to make certain. When you begin to get across town, you're going to either take a bike that you power, electric bike, or a Lime scooter,
right,
that you access by your Apple. That's the way. So we need to make that accessible.
Totally agree. Yeah.
That's a long-winded way to answer your question, but you're from collegiate, so you're looking for a thorough answer. I get that.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for talking to me, and fingers crossed come June.
Hey, Lucas, this is what I need for you to do, man. I need for you to, given that you have an enormous network, I need for you to, blast me across the whole collegiate campus, okay? And I know you got a whole bunch of campuses, okay?
Already done.
Okay, we got to let me up out there, Lucas, on your social network. If you're the one asking me this question, then you represent the entirety of the voting population at collegiate, all of them, okay? We need a man, okay? And Lucas, it's your city. It's your city. I'm doing this so we can have the best days ahead of us, not behind us, okay?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, man, 100, okay? Go Imagine Dragon. You can Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, let them know what's up.
I know. Twitter is already telling me to Google it. I get it. Thank you, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas.
It sounds like a Disney movie. How am I supposed to know?
I'm saying, you know what? I was on the phone today with some students from East Harlem. And I said, what's on your top 5? He said, Imagine Dragons. So all of a sudden, I'm bringing Imagine Dragons to you. Like I know.
So somebody said it. You know what? I'm bringing in our next guy.
That's what I'm saying. But I got to keep it real. I mean, I could have fronted like I know what Imagine Dragon was for like 2 weeks or something. It's on my top list. But y'all don't even let me listen to music. So when I start flexing here, it's because I need a little relief, right?
Oh, we got to make you. Well, the campaign has a playlist, but we got to make some time for you to have some music.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, we got to play the next time. We got to play the 1975 hit. Just let people understand what was being said then. We got to do this the next go round. Wake Up Everybody.
Okay.
Listen to that one.
I'll make sure to have that one for next week.
Maybe Teddy Pendergrass singing one of them, but y'all listen to that.
Teddy didn't sing.
No,
that was not Teddy.
Okay. All right, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
It wasn't Harold Melvin either. It was Marvin.
It wasn't Marvin Gaye. It was not Marvin Gaye.
Wait. Wake Up Everybody. Oh, it was Teddy Pendergrass. You was right.
I know old school stuff. Like you jumping in here like you know what's up.
It was Teddy P. Okay, well, I'm going to bring in the next guest for you this evening. Jose is from Washington Heights.
Jose, what's up? From the Heights. What's down? What's going down?
What up? In the Heights. Yeah.
How you doing,
he got the Adidas memo. Y'all both got the Adidas situation going on.
There you go, Jose. Yeah. We're all in, man. Jose, you play soccer. What's your sport?
I'm a baseball kind of guy.
Okay. Who's your favorite? Who is your favorite player of all time?
Of all time? Wow, that's a good question.
You like Clemente?
Clemente, great legacy. Clementes and those guys in those years. Oh my God. Marichal, Giants. picture that put our name on the map.
There you go. There
Juan
you go.
Marichal.
Okay. What's on your mind? What's on your mind tonight, Jose?
All right, I posted a question for you on the homeless problems in New York, but Washington Heights got the ugly end of the stick. They had opened up about dozens of shelters in the last couple of months, and they hanging out on the train station, and they assaulting people on the train station in my neighborhood. I was wondering, Domingo asked me to come and join you and hear your proposal, but the homeless problem, what we're facing, right? You must have some kind of a plan.
I do, Jose. I do, Jose. I do have a plan. First of all, we got to prevent the homelessness. We got to make certain that people, have vouchers to get in homes. We need to give rent subsidies. And the other thing we need to do, Jose, is we need to give people some help when it comes to some of the problems they got, right? So some people are just getting out of jail. So we need to step in before they get out of jail, Jose, to help them out, to make sure that they don't, stop at 125th Street in Lexington. And the only thing they got is $20 in the Metro car. We got to stop that, for one. We got to make certain that when they get out, that we got some place for them to go to. That's number one. Some people, they suffering from drug problems. We got to give them some services too, help them rescue, because the methadone clinics got too many of those. And you know what else is up, Jose? You know what else is up is that, this COVID has been bad, man. We got people out there got a lot of mental health issues. And so we got to give them some help, right?
Besides, we get hit by a pandemic in the middle of...
And we got hit by a pandemic. This thing is like bad, man. This thing is like off the chain. It's off the hook, man. So the other thing we got to do is once we prevent it, then we got to give them the services, right? We got to help them out. We got to get the community centers. We got to get all the centers in to make sure that people don't go back. We got to help them out. And the last thing is we got to get them from homeless temporarily into shelters, and then we got to get them into some kind of permanent housing, right? In some of these places out there, once we get them a job, we got to get people a job and train them. Now, I understand, Jose, that not everybody out there has got a great education, but what we can do is to take a look at where they are and then train them so they got a job for the future. And that's what we got to do. And the problem is getting worse unless we deal with it now. It's going to get worse. And we know how to deal with it. We just haven't had the leadership to get us there. And that's what's up.
And here is where you catch my attention. It's leadership that we are orphaned from.
Yep.
We in Washington Heights have grown orphaned from leadership.
Yep.
Thank God there's an election, and elections are results of community coming together and casting that vote on that day for the candidate that you feel is going to do the right thing for your community. And right now, let me tell you, I don't know if to call you Mr. McGuire.
No. Call me Ray. Call me Ray, Jose. Call me Ray.
I like that one. I like that. Ray.
I'm good with that, man.
Ray for me. I like that one. I like that one very much. Ray for
I
me.
mean, Jose, let me tell you something. I want to be clear about this, Jose.
Leadership.
Let me tell you something. Jose, I need you. Okay? I can't get there without you.
You can count on me. We're gonna get together this weekend.
All right, man. I'll be there. I'll be in the Bronx tomorrow, Jose. I'll be looking for you, okay?
Yeah. Domingo told me all about it, and I said, count me in. I'll be there. I'll tell people whose Ray it is.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Jose, okay? Keep representing, okay? All right, my brother.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Respect. A lot of respect, Jose.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, my friend.
That was great. And we do have, I'm going to try to get these questions in that we have in the comments from folks before we go, because folks just love talking to you, it seems.
I'm saying we got something going on. Me, you, the Imagine Dragons. I'm saying this stuff is kind of lit Friday night.
Well, let me bring in. I'm gonna try to bring in these questions. So Quentin on Facebook wants to know your plan for addressing this uptick in crime that is happening. I know no one knows what the source of it is, but how would we address the uptick in crime under a McGuire administration? So,
Quentin, I so appreciate that. We got to stop them before they start. Quentin, you know right about now things is rough in the neighborhood. Let's think about this summer. I got no rims. I got no nets on the backboard. I got no summer job. I got no community center. I got no tablet. I got no laptop, and I got no broadband. I got nothing. So what I'm going to do? It's not an excuse. It's just an explanation. And what we need to do is begin to address that. And I've done that. But what I'm going to do with the NYPD is I'm going to have a deputy mayor for public safety that goes across all the agencies. And also, rather than delegate the management of the NYPD just to the NYPD, I want to see if we can't get some help with my deputy mayor for public safety. I'm going to hold chain of command accountability. You know exactly what that is because, you've been in that world. And then I'm going to create a emergency social services, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Emergency Social Services Bureau, so they can go either ahead of or with the police. Why is that? Because as you know, 4 now, probably 5+ calls that go into 911 have to do with mental health issues. So I want to deal with mental health issues with the right proportionality. It's been said by many that if the only thing that you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. In the Black and brown communities, it often looks like a sledgehammer. So I want to get the people in who don't need a sledgehammer in to help us resolve these situations so they don't end in tragedy. All too many have ended in tragedy. And then I want to return to reallocate some of the dollars and return to community policing, where the police and the community, the law enforcement and the community know each other. And then I want to return to things like the Police Athletic League, where we have active community centers. And I want to give, in addition to that, I want to give our kids jobs, which is part of my economic plan, but also part of my education plan. Give them jobs. I had a job. I dug ditches. I laid tile. I changed bedpans. I took out IVs. I built boxes in the basement of Phil's dress shop. I was a gopher, but I had a job. And I felt good. It kept me out of trouble. I had a little piece of money, a little piece of change in my pocket. We need the same thing here. And the other thing I'm going to do is to make certain that the CCRB gets investigative authority here. And rather than take 48 days to look at body cam footage, I'm going to have them do it in 48 hours and make a recommendation. And I'm going to be the one who's got the ultimate decision on how that recommendation is executed on. So that's how I think about it. Now, also, one other thing I'm going to do is see if I can for once begin to attack that iron pipeline, I-95, as you know, where the guns are manufactured and where they get to the top 10 precincts where we see most of the incidents. But first, I'm going to prevent. And, it shouldn't be easier, as you know, it should not be easier in many instances to get an illegal firearm than it is to get a legal tablet. What kind of world are we living in? We need to step in today and got some leadership so we come in and solve these problems, because otherwise this is going to take us over.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt our communities the most.
Yeah. So I this next question is a very interesting question. With 2020 vision, sometimes we may look back at our past differently. If you could go back, would you follow a different profession or a different passion professionally?
If I were to go back, there are probably 2, one realistic, one not so realistic. The realistic one was maybe to become a president of a college. Because I think that and a teacher at the same time. That's leadership, and as I've said before, the most noble profession outside of the faith profession is teaching. So maybe I've done that. And that's realistic. The unrealistic one would be to, you know, our son was drafted first round into the NBA, and he's now the starting point guard for the Orlando Magic. Unrealistic, I would have gone to the league. I'd have crossed some kids over, stepped back, dropped a couple of threes, crossed some kids over, broken some ankles every now and then, dunking them like Doc did on Scotty. I mean, like Doc did on Coop. So, yeah, I'd have gone to the league.
All right, I got more for you.
Mm-hmm.
So Terrell on Facebook asked if you can help the brothers and sisters in the projects who haven't had access to heat and hot water in years.
The answer is yes. Yeah, we got to fix that. I got 134 days average open tickets. That's not acceptable. I just touch the walls and I see it's been painted over with one coat of paint and I got mold. Yeah, and I don't know whether or not I got lead in the water. We need to correct that, and it needs to have the right sense of urgency, and we need to yell out against this stuff and denounce it from day one, which is what I will do. Yeah, no, we got to get the hot water in there, and the heat can't be too high either. You got the heat going too high, which has now exposed a whole bunch of stuff. People keep the windows open, and that further deteriorates the conditions of the apartments. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I know it's a problem. Yeah, like I said, this is home, so I get what's going down.
Okay. So there's another question here about campaign contributions. And I'm trying to find it, but I think the question was about, the number of people who've contributed to you, contributed to your campaign. I know, we had a filing deadline just recently and raised another $2.1 million. Should people have concerns about the people who are contributing to you? Will they have greater say in your administration than anybody else?
I am in nobody's pockets, zero body's pockets. And so I welcome donations from all interested New Yorkers from $1 to $5,100. No, nobody should have any instincts whatsoever, any skepticism whatsoever. I am not a politician. $5,100 will not change my life. I am unencumbered. I have never served in office. I have never affiliated. As I said, I'm in nobody's pocket. The reason that I decided not to take the matching funds were two. One is that at a time of the pandemic, when New Yorkers are suffering, it did not make sense to me to take on taxpayers' money to fund my campaign. That's number one. Number two is the thing that I do not have that many of them who are the career politicians have is name recognition. I didn't serve in any administration. I didn't get termed out. I'm not looking for a promotion. I'm looking to do what's in the best interest of New York City. And I'm quite proud of the people who have decided that I am the best leader and they put their contributions behind that. So you should have zero concern or skepticism about me being beholden to anyone because I'm unbeholden. And $5,100 is not going to change my lifestyle or my perceptions. I welcome it because we need the support to get my message out, but my message is uninfluenced by anything other than what's in the best interest of the city.
And I think we have time for one more, which is a question about small landlords who are facing an uncertain future because of not only the halt on evictions, which is necessary, but then also just on how they are able to pay their bills, their mortgage. What do you say to that?
We need help, and small landlords are included in my Go Big, Go Small, Go Forward. They're small businesses. And what I've outlined in my business for 500,000 jobs is to make certain that at its core is to take care of the small businesses, including the landlords. Small businesses are responsible for 50% of the New Yorkers who work. And so we need to make certain that we give a lifeline to those small businesses and to the landlords because the landlords have to pay rent. They got to pay their bills as well. And so we need to not only see if we can help negotiate some relief for the landlords, we also need to make sure that we can get some legal assistance for some of the landlords who need the legal assistance to intervene in the situation. Unless we intervene, it's going to get worse. I understand that. It is not. It is the entirety of the equation. It's the tenants, it's the landlords, and it's the mortgage holders, whom the landlords and the other people whom the landlords have to pay. So we need to make certain that we negotiate and give the resources to the small businesses who are landlords. And I just met with the small property owners of New York and had a similar conversation. So I understand what's taking place. In my plan, it's specifically designed to give small businesses, including small landlords, relief and a lifeline. I'm committed to that.
Well, Ray, it's already after 8. I can't believe we went through this.
You know, I know you're a little surprised. I know you're surprised that your boy got through it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm okay.
Well,
this is a great conversation, Eljoy. This is all right. I think you should do that yellow again, because that yellow means we like going all in. Me, you, Imagine Dragons, UK Jose, Terrell, the whole 9. This stuff is kind of lit for Friday night. I'm good.
Look, people are already in the comments asking where you're going to be tomorrow. So let me tell people.
Tell them where they are, but don't send an email. Eljoy, do not send your email, because I didn't send it out. I didn't say anything about your email being what it is. Okay, so I wouldn't.
Don't give out my email address this week.
I'm not going to say anything about your @RayForMayor. I ain't going to say nothing about that.
But so you're going to be on White Plains Road up in the Bronx around 11:30. Between 213th and 214th, you're going to be in Foley Square for the candlelight vigil on anti-Asian American violence. So you'll be out in the streets there. So you'll be, up in the Bronx tomorrow. So
I'm gonna be out tomorrow.
So if you're on White Plains Road, if you're on Story Avenue tomorrow around 12 o'clock, around 3 o'clock, maybe you'll see Ray McGuire.
You're gonna be Ray McGuire for Mayor at Ray McGuire for Mayor, social media, RayMcGuireForMayor.com. I didn't say anything about Eljoy's email. I didn't say anything about that this week.
Don't do it. But you can follow us on social media, on Twitter, Ray for Mayor, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. You can go to RayForMayor.com to sign up to figure out how you can be part of this campaign and how you can help spread the word about Ray's policy and his plan for the city of New York. Ray, any last comments?
It is great to see you, Eljoy. You are like 100 all the time. I don't know how you do it, but you just represent regalness all the time. And I'm so delighted to be with you and just so honored to share the stage with you in all of your magnificent glory and just regalness and just total excellence. So you keep doing you.
Is this supposed to be a makeup for my email being, my inbox?
No. I didn't know if you saw the chat, because I now know put things in the chat. So I put it in the chat.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Next Friday, bring a friend.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend and tell them that Ray actually answers questions. So he's not shy about responding to anything that people are asking about his plan for the city. So feel free to invite some friends and let's talk about it. And we'll see you next Friday, or you will see Ray out in the streets.
I'll be out in the streets. I'll be at home. Thank you.